गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. So here we were seeing
73.
The exposition on this verse. The verse was on. Where is that verse gone? Oh, we are in Pancadasi chapter 11, verse number 77. And we had seen 66, 67. The verse was in 68. एकीभूत सुषुप्तस्थः प्रज्ञान घनतां गतः आनंदमय आनंद भुक्चेतोमय वृत्तिभिः. The deep sleeper, having attained oneness with Anandmaya Kosh or Anandmaya, becomes undifferentiated. Here he, with the thoughts born out of ignorance along with Chidabhas, becomes the experiencer of bliss. And then the consequent verses, they looked at the word Ekibhut, they looked at the word Prajnana Ghana, then they looked at the word Chetomaya, and the other words are common. Ananda we know, Vritti means thoughts, Gata means the movement, and Sushuptastaha is Sushupti, that is the deep sleep state. And all these words were taken, and now the student, and then it was told that if a person is thinking that he is if he has gone to here it was told that it was brought to students' attention that the ananda which we are experiencing, how can it be caught? How can the joy of the deep sleep, or that ananda which you experience in the deep sleep, when can it be experienced or caught? And it is also our observation that just before we are about to go into deep sleep and just after we get up, these two moments is where we are absolutely in bliss. First, because the deep sleep state is going to suck us in, and in that moment, just few moments before, our mind is empty, and just few moments after we wake up, also our mind is empty, and because we enjoy the empty-mindedness which is Anandmaya Kosh, we want to linger it, and therefore we don't get out of the bed till 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Because that nobody wants to get caught up. They don't want more thoughts to erupt in the mind. Because you are closest to yourself in the deep sleep state, isn't it? But you don't know that. And this is how the teacher here says, कंचित कालम प्रबुद्धस्य ब्रह्मानंदस्य वासना अनुगच्छेद यतस्तूष्णीम आस्ते निर्विषय सुखी. The impression of the bliss of Brahman is carried over to the waking state by the awakened one for a short period because of no contact with any object. The happy one keeps quite quiet when awakened. So, why, how long will the carryover effect of the bliss which you experienced in deep sleep will be carried forward after you wake up? As long as you don't get involved with any objectivity. How beautiful. Huh? So till you don't get involved in object, that's why children don't want to open their eyes. They want to remain sucked in. Huh? And in this way, it was also told that this ananda, in deep sleep we were experiencing the bliss, but we were ignorant about it. But before going to sleep and after waking up from sleep, the bliss that we are experiencing, that is not the Brahmananda. What is that? That is Vasanananda. That is a memory of joy that you experienced in the deep sleep is carried forward. And this is called Tushnim Bhav. So why was this point brought about? It was brought about so that the student, the seeker, does not mistake the Vasanananda, the remembered bliss with the actual bliss. And that's why this topic was brought about. Otherwise, the student can say that I woke up, yeah, that bliss was there, it was still there. No, but that is called Vasanananda. It's the Tushnim Bhav. But student is also smart. He's not like one of us, just taking it for, just going through text, no inquiry, and then afterwards forget. No practice. But here he is very, very alert. See the questions, the quality of question that he asks. I don't know if you have thought about them. Then in the 76th verse it was told, Prag urdhom api nidrayaha pakshapato dine dine brahmanande nrunam tena pragnyosmin vivadetakaha. Did we do this one? Yes, we did. Attachment to the bliss of Brahman before and after sleep is seen every day among men. Which intelligent man will ever argue against this? So before sleep and after sleep, it is our experience that we are intoxicated by it and either pulled in by it or we remember it after we wake up. Now, next one. This is a very interesting point now. Remember, Nanu tushni sthitau brahma, Nanu tushni sthitau brahma, Anandaschet bhati lokikaha, Anandaschet bhati lokikaha, Alasascharitartha syuhu, Alasascharitartha syuhu, Shastrena gurunatra kim, Shastrena gurunatra kim. Now the student is asking, see, because he is inquiring, he is alert, he is vigilant, which we have to be not only when we are listening, but also on our seat of meditation. So then we can correct. What is he saying? If one can get the bliss of Brahman just by keeping quiet, in that case the ignorant and lazy shall find fulfillment. What is the need for study of scriptures and the teacher? If all we need to do, we also keep saying, so many times he has said, expose yourself to silence, expose yourself to silence, expose yourself to silence. Well, how did you come to know about it? First is, everyone is naturally wanting to go into silence, and the other thing is, you are asked to remain in silence consciously by the teacher or by the scriptures. So the student here is saying that what is the need? What is the need for scriptures and students? All we have to do is we can sit in silence. Then every person is sitting in silence, then they are realized.
Mind has to be silent.
He's saying mind only. He's not talking about body. We are in the last 5 chapters of Pancadasi. Nothing to do with body anymore.
Now in silence also you get some other pitfalls.
No, you will go into nothingness then.
No, we are not. Yes, if we do not abide in the self, then we will go into.
Nothing.
Then we will imagine that I am seeing nothing. So, so the student is saying that if you say that we have to just experience the silence, if we must remain in silence, then every Tom, Dick and Harry can sit in silence. Then where is the need for scriptures and teacher? So to that, here he says, where is the need for the study of Shastras or the Guru? Even sage Narada, there is a famous story which comes in the Puranas. Sage Narada, he has studied the 64 Vidyas. That means that 64 Vidyas cover every aspect of this creation, and he has it at his master. He is expert in logic, he is expert in devotion, he is expert in music, he is expert in astrology, everything he is expert in. But he had no fulfillment. There was still emptiness in his heart. There was still emptiness in his heart. See? And then he goes to the teacher. He says, why am I feeling empty? I am the master of all the knowledges. Everything is at my fingertip. Why am I feeling this emptiness? Why am I feeling this empty space within my heart? And then he says, you pray to the Lord, the ego is not surrendered. You have arrogance about your knowledge. And that is becoming an impediment. Then how to remove that? How to remove that? Sing the name of the Lord. Surrender everything to the Lord. Then it will happen. So here, and sitting quietly does not require a guru. In this way, those who are lazy and have not been exposed to the scriptures are likely to misunderstand that Brahmananda means mere quietude or Brahmananda means Vasanananda. But we don't want to go into remembered bliss. You know what is remembered bliss? Even with your, not necessarily when you wake up, but there are other times also. If I just now say gulab jamun, you'll remember the taste of gulab jamun, immediately joy will come. The saliva will increase in your mouth. Vasanananda. See? Or you remember some movie which you really like, and suddenly someone says, have you seen that movie? Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, I'm going to see that. Oh, really? And everything, the joy starts erupting within. Remembered bliss. To this point the teacher implies, now this was the question, that do we need a scripture, study the scriptures? Do we need a teacher when everyone can remain silent? But does remaining silent equal to realization? Does remaining silent equal to established in the self? Does sitting in silence is equal to abiding in the self, knowing the Atma, knowing the Paramatma, or being one with the Paramatma? So we may sit 2, 3, 5 hours in meditation, body is not moving, breath is hardly there, mind is also empty. But what have you gained after that? See, in one of the classes I mentioned about this. I met one Mahatma, sannyasi. He was from North India somewhere, near Ranikhet area. And he had gone, and one day one Mahatma came and he saw him and he fell at his feet. You please teach me Samadhi Abhyas, teach me Samadhi Abhyas. He took him to the Tibet, and in one cave, that was his home. He took him there and he said, please teach me. He said, sit down. Sat down. First few days, some exercise, this, that, everything, so that his body was conducive. And then he said, sit down. Touched his head. Just one tap. For 6 years that fellow was in samadhi. 6 years. And then one day he opened his eyes. Why did he open his eyes? Because the Guru Maharaj was breathing his last breath. He was leaving the body, or the body was leaving the Guru Maharaj. So the sankalpa of the Guru, which put the student in samadhi, that sankalpa was becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, and therefore the student was coming out of samadhi. And from that day, I met him after his Guru took samadhi. This was 8th or 9th year, I think, when I met him in Haridwar, in one ashram. He says, for the last 8 years, I have not been able to sit in samadhi. It was only because of Guru Maharaj's grace that I sat in samadhi, but I remember how beautiful that state was. But by himself, he is not able to. So whenever we get initiation or we are in the presence of masters, we get that taste of an empty mind consciously. That's why we must seek their company. But that is not it. Because no master worth his salt can make you get realized. You have to realize yourself. All they can give you is that, just like heat, fire gives you heat and you feel warmth, and cold goes away when you are in the presence of the master. You feel calm, you feel contented, naturally there are no doubts, questions, issues or thoughts of the world erupting in your mind. So on one hand, the world is not able to make an impact on your mind, and on the other hand, the vibration or the blessings of the master, they kept your mind, blissful, like that warmth. But when that master goes away, it's still back to normal. You have to. So, but now you know what the taste is like. But why you need a master? Every night also you taste the same thing. Every night before going to sleep and after coming out of sleep also you taste the same thing. See? But it has to be done consciously. Don't think emptiness is an object of contemplation. Please. We say Anandamaya Kosh, we say deep sleep state, but it is not an object to be apprehended. You understand? You are an object to be apprehended. I can see you, I can touch you, I can see the top to bottom, everything. But do you have any dimensions of emptiness? Do you have any dimensions of space? An empty mind, do you have any dimensions? Then how can you say I was experiencing emptiness? So the language changes in scriptures. You are experiencing absence of objects, absence of thoughts. And that absence of thoughts, remember how this chapter began? When Vijnanamaya Kosh, what is Vijnanamaya Kosh? Where the thoughts appear and disappear. When Vijnanamaya Kosh, and what is Vijnanamaya Kosh? It is the doer. When that doer has got nothing to associate itself with, it becomes or transforms into the Anandamaya Kosh, because the I disappears in the sleep. But as such, sleep as such is not an object for you to, because it has got no dimensions. And therefore in meditation it is told that we must bypass this. We must not get involved in it. And for that, probably that topic will come, for that we have to study the scriptures. For that, so that we don't get caught up and in that trap of emptiness, in that trap of void, in that trap of nothingness. We need a teacher who is able to correct us so that we don't get caught up in that. The last thought disappears from your intellect. The next step The next thing that must happen is self-awareness, not nothingness. Must happen self-awareness. To this point, the teacher replies, Badham Brahmeti Vidyuschet, Badham Brahmeti Vidyuschet, Krutarthastavatayvate, Krutarthastavatayvate, Guru Shastre Vinatyantam, Guru Shastre Vinatyantam, Gambhiram Brahmave Tikaha, Gambhiram Brahma Vetikaha. You are right indeed, the teacher says. Badham. Badham means, yeah, absolutely. Badham Brahmeti Vidyuschet. You are right indeed. If they come to know this to be Brahman, they are indeed fulfilled. What they come to know that this is the reality? Is emptiness the reality? Is emptiness the reality? Then what is the reality?
Conscious.
The presence within the absence is the reality. See? So if they come to know, if their attention is on silence, they lost the plot. But if their attention goes back to the consciousness and they don't remain lingering in the emptiness, in the thought of emptiness, hey, there is nothing there. There is nothing there. क्या आएगा? कुछ नहीं आएगा. They must get, and who tells you? The scriptures tell us. The Guru reminds us. The teacher reminds us. The scriptures remind us. So here the teacher is saying that you are right indeed. If they come to know this to be Brahman, they are indeed fulfilled. Who can know this extremely subtle Brahman without the help of scriptures and the teacher? Who can know? There are very few people. There are people, no doubt about it, who have come to know the truth, who have come to know the self without the aid of scriptures. Why? Maybe in their last life they have studied it. Because this life is a continuum of the last life. If you don't realize this life principle will continue to get another body and continue the journey. Because the purpose of human life is to attain realization. So why are they able to? You may say, we have not come across, then what can we do? But you go to India, I have come across children, a child in Vrindavan, since she was 6-7 years old, she could recite the entire Bhagavatam, 18,000 verses, and gives lectures. Gives lectures on them. From where? Come on, she hasn't even been to school. Now how come? She opens the mouth and the Bhagavatam begins. How? From previous. But that is not the point that we are making here. Here the point that we are making is that the obstacles, or it is not that easy. Okay, let me rephrase the whole thing. Body is gross, breath is subtle. Breath is gross, mind is subtle. Mind is grosser than the intellect. Intellect is very subtle. Subtler than the intellect means finer than the intellect is the Atmic principle. Hey? Now we haven't even caught our mind yet, and you are sitting in the imagination that you know Brahman, that you know the reality, that you know the self. No doubt, if you are established in the self, in the silence, then what should be the answer? What should be your demeanor, or what should be your disposition after that? You should be content. Then there will be no question. There will be no doubt as to who you are. If after exposing yourself to silence, remaining in silence, and you come out and still there are questions which are troubling the mind. Understand, you had not gone into, you had only experienced an empty mind, but not abided in the self. Because abiding in the self means total contentment. And that contentment is not that it will slowly increase in its intensity. No. Once you taste a sugar, you know what sweetness is. You don't need to taste, the sweetness will not keep increasing in its intensity every time you taste the sugar. Only once. See? So here the teacher is saying that what you say that Brahmananda is just keeping quiet is perfectly right. This is the technique the teacher adopts by seeming to agree with what student says and then proceeds to point out the weakness in this statement. And what is the statement? Kritartah tavata evate. If that were so, then by that practice alone, such an individual should attain total fulfillment. Has he attained total fulfillment? That there is nothing more to do in life. What has to be done is done. Full stop. Is that your disposition? Or is there, no, one more year, I'm going to give lectures and then I will stop. That? No. Contentment is no craving for anything in the world. Fulfillment means no project in life, no ambitions. A feeling of fulfillment means all that has to be done has been done. See, is that our disposition? So don't fool yourself. We should not fool ourselves into thinking that I was just with myself. Oh, it was so beautiful. ठीक है. This Brahma Tattva being very deep and profound. Why very deep and profound? Because right now our attention is on the gross and it is very subtler than the subtlest. So why on this journey from outside world to this core who is ruling this body, breath, mind, intellect and the whole world, and that which I am, the journey from outside to this, from the thought to the direct experience, from objective knowledge of this reality to subjective abidance in this reality. Very small distance is there, but that small gap can present innumerable number of challenges, innumerable number of difficulties. And what are those difficulties and challenges? Doubts, distractions. See? How will you confirm? Even though you are abiding, because nobody has ever experienced themselves as separate from themselves, isn't it? You know yourself as yourself. Do you need confirmation? But then the mind comes in. Oh, I think this was it. I think I was almost there, man. You know. Once Brahmananda is realized, there is no more struggle, no more effort, and nothing remains to be done or undone, because the state of bliss includes everything. Everything meaning what? Everything meaning what? Includes all the bodies, all the minds, all the intellects, the entire, not one universe, all the universes are included within this Brahman, this Brahmananda. The entire cosmos, everything that you know or you don't know is included within it. Not as a thought, as an unmanifest. Just like in deep sleep, your entire, all your relationships, all your body, breath, mind, intellect, all your projects, all your jobs, your roles, etc., etc., everything is present in the deep sleep state. But in what form? Unmanifest, isn't it? Exactly the same way. It is remaining, everything is present in the Brahman, not in unmanifest state, as Brahman. Not in unmanifest state, but as Brahman. Because from Brahman's point of view, everything it alone is. It doesn't have an experience of anything else other than itself. From water's point of view, everything, because we are looking at it from outside. So we say there is water, there is ocean, there is wave. But from water's point of view, there is no ocean and there is no wave. But when we speak from our angle of vision, we say, oh, water includes everything, all the oceans and all the waves, isn't it? Like that. The student now asks, why do I not have this bliss even after listening to you? This is our problem. That even though we listen, the conviction is there, the understanding is also there, but then why am I not experiencing it? What is called experiencing here? Direct experience. It's not, knowing is through the thoughts, but direct experience is aparoksha anubhuti, thought-free experience. Because the one what we are talking about is our own nature. Janamyaham tvaduktyaadya Janamyaham tvaduktyaadya Kuto mena krutarthata Kuto mena krutarthata Shrunvatra tvadrisho vruttam Shrunvatra tvadrisho vruttam Prajñam अन्यस्य कस्यचित् Prajñam anyasya kasyachit. Student says, now I know the bliss of Brahman by your words, O teacher. However, I do not experience the fulfillment. Teacher replies, listen to the story of a man like you who considers himself to be wise. Merely studying the scriptures, repeating the words of the teacher or repeating the words of the scripture is not equal to realization. It is a good party talk. It is a good social talk. And there are people you must have come across also. She's a very knowledgeable person. He is a very knowledgeable person. You ask, they have answers for everything. Having answers to everything is not equal to knowledge. But we believe that way. Having answers to everything is not equal to knowledge. Abiding in the self is equal to knowledge and wisdom. So the student is saying here that, sir, from your statement, Tushnim Sthidau Brahmananda, I know what Brahmananda is. The student is saying that the period after you wake up, the experience that you have for few moments, the Tushnim Avastha, what we told as Vasnananda, he says, yeah, I experienced it. He's still not ready to accept that it is remembered bliss. He is saying that is my bliss, that is my nature. I know what Brahmananda is. However, how is it that I do not have that state of fulfillment that you said ought to be concomitant of Brahmananda? The teacher says, you mention about the absence of fulfillment reminds me of the story of a person like you. Chaturveda videdeyam Chaturveda videdeyam Iti shrunvanna vochata Iti shrunvanna vochata Vedaschattvara ityevam Vedaschattvara ityevam Vedmi me dhiyatam dhanam. Me te dhiyatam dhanam. He says, a person having heard that the wealth would be given to the knowers of four Vedas said, one person said, yes, I know there are four Vedas. Ruk, Yajur, Sam, Atharva. Give me my prize. Because in India, I don't know if it is in South India, but North India, you have the names, surnames of the people. Dvivedi is a surname, means the one who knows two Vedas. Trivedi, you must have heard, the one who knows three Vedas. Chaturvedi, the one who knows four Vedas. Just because your surname is Dvivedi, Trivedi or Chaturvedi does not mean that you are knowledgeable in the Vedas. So here do you know the contents? You don't know the contents. Similarly, just like that person, the teacher is a bit harsh on the student here. He says that that your knowing what Brahmananda is and imagining that you have attained it is of the same degree of validity as the claim of that man to being a Chaturvedi. So just like that person knows that there are four Vedas, you know that there is Brahmananda. But do you know what is what that word is signifying? What that word is indicating? You know? Do you know what is included in that word? Chaturvedi. Chaturvedi. It's one word. But that Chaturvedi, one word, also means Rig, Yajur, Sam, Atharva. And those are thousands and thousands and thousands of verses, sutras. You know anything out of it? My father gave me this name. What can I do? Similarly, oh student, you have heard from my mouth Brahmananda, and you think you know Brahmananda. You know what is the impact of that word. And that is why. So all you are doing is ear service to the word. And student has asked, why am I not having the fulfillment? Why you are not having the fulfillment is because you are not looking for the meaning of Brahmananda dash. What is the dash? Fill in the blanks. Why you are not looking at the meaning or indicator of what that word Brahmananda is? Correct, subjectively. We are not looking at it subjectively. Right now also, if we are looking at the word Brahmananda, it has come so many times. Oh, Brahmananda, immediately Brahmananda. Oh, total fulfillment, no projects, nothing to do, nothing to gain. All that is data. But it must go subjectively. That word Brahmananda is indicating you. It is not indicating another flurry of thoughts to support it. It doesn't require any support of thinking. See? Continuing. Sankhya me vaisha janati, Sankhya me vaisha janati, Natu vedana sheshataha, Natu vedana sheshataha, Yadi tarhi tvamapyevam, Yadi tarhi tvamapyevam, Nashesham brahma vetsihi, Nashesham brahma vetsihi. completely. This person knows only the number of Vedas and not the contents completely. If this is your observation about this man, in that case you also know not Brahman fully well and hence do not experience full fulfillment. Why do we spend so much time studying the scriptures? Not because some mad dog has bitten us. If a mad dog has bitten us, his name is also Brahman. His name is also reality. So that the cobwebs, the default processes that are set so deeply entrenched in our intellect, unknowingly we are convinced of many, many wrong things. Oh, from childhood till now and past life. To undo all that. And why do we have to undo? Because as long as you think you are an individual, as long as you think you are this body, then the feeling will be there that I have to undo the mind. And the other option, just be. Just be and accept and be fulfilled. But if you're feeling that you are unfulfilled, that your feeling of fulfillment is not there, and joy and bliss is being experienced, but it is coming and going, then that mind needs to be resolved. And that resolution of the mind is not, it should stop thinking about the doubts and difficulties. It should start, that mind, by its, it has to be cultivated in such a manner that any time, any place, in the world or outside the world, does not matter where, in waking dream or deep sleep, that is meditation, it should spontaneously go back to its own source. And that is taking time. That is taking time. And no amount of your doing anything will ever resolve that. The only antidote for that is Brahma Chintanam, Atma Chintanam. Atma Chintanam. And when you start thinking about the Atma, the mind starts thinking about the Atma, automatically all the cobwebs of the mind are undone of its own accord. Just like when you go to sleep, single pointedly you are thinking of the sleep, the entire world in which you have to do so many things, etc., etc., everything is undone. Only then you can go to sleep, isn't it? The man in the story knew only the number of Vedas. He knew nothing at all of the contents of the Vedas. He did not know them at all. The teacher replies, if you say so, you also fall in the same category. You also know that Brahman, you also do not know Brahman completely and fully. The student was arguing. He says, you can't compare me with that foolish man. His name is Chaturvedi, but he did not know the Vedas. I know Brahman. What do you know about Brahman? So whatever you have told me, whatever scriptures I said, that's where we are going wrong. What scriptures are saying is not information. So we are caught up in the words. We have made it into a theory. We have made it into an equation in our mind. We have created a concept of it in our mind. And at a moment's notice, we are able to pop it up and give the correct answer. But giving the correct answer is not equal to self-realization. It is not equal to abiding in the self. It is not equal to abiding in Brahmananda. What is Brahmananda again? Unadulterated, homogeneous mass of continuous bliss with no ups and downs, with no loss, no addition. That is Brahmananda. And that is our essential nature. Today one boy came, 20-year-old. He used to come to my classes when I was young. When he was young, I was young. He was young. And he's in uni. And he was doing biotechnology, and now he has changed it to engineering. And his parents must be after him. Change कर लिया, ये कर लिया, वो कर लिया. Have I done anything wrong? And I'm studying physics and this and mathematics, and I'm so much enjoying feeling the movement, and my mind is moving in the right direction. Is it not, Swamiji? I said, why you are asking me? You tell me that you have made the right decision or the wrong decision. And if you think you have made the right decision, stick to it. Have no doubt. Don't allow doubts to come in. No, don't you think if I had made the shift after 3 years of studies or 4 years of studies, and I have done it just after first semester last year, 1 year, and that way I'm not losing too much, only one semester, half a semester, not how many? 2 semesters I'm missing out. I have to do extra. Have I done? I said, you should. I can't answer that question for you. No, but I feel very comfortable with it from inside. I said, then pursue. Then why you have to ask me? Because no amount of my answering your question, or your parents, or anyone in this world will ever satisfy you. Only your answer to yourself will put you to peace. Nobody else can fill up that emptiness. Nobody can remove that doubt. We can give you some replies. But you have to be comfortable with the decision that you have made. But Swamiji, the mind keeps coming in between. I don't know how to. Kal subah 7 baje aa raha hai. I said, come for meditation. I could have called him in the afternoon also. I want to see how much is committed. I come in the morning, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, Swamiji. Yeah, because afterwards people will get up to go to work. I said, then I only said, okay, come at 7. So let's see. Idea, what is he experiencing? The turmoil of the mind, isn't it? He understands everything that we are talking. I talk is the same thing put again and again from different angles. In 15-20 minutes I told him who he essentially is. He understands. But then the question comes, but the movement, he's caught up in movement right now. Then he says, he's a cyclist. He says, Swamiji, when I am in one with the movement, then I am in the zone. I said, then I got a clue of his language. I said, what is that zone? Explain to me. He says, I'm watching that the cycle is going and the legs are moving and the eyes are seeing, and I'm just watching. I'm in that zone, and it's so freeing. I said, how long is that zone being maintained? Till I cycle. Can you cycle all your life? To be in the zone? After some time you will get tired. So you have experienced being in the zone. Now you have to make that into your own direct experience. What I am talking to you about is being in the zone 24/7, 365 days a year. How will that be? So, now one more doubt the student comes up with. Akhand, he says, अखण्डैकरसानन्दे खण्डैकरसानन्दे माया तत्कार्यवर्जिते अशेषत्वसशेषत्व अशेषत्वसशेषत्व वार्तावसर एव कः. In the unbroken bliss of Brahman, which is beyond the influence of Maya and its effects, the possibility of mentioning it fully or partly does not arise. Therefore, there is incomplete or complete knowledge and fulfillment, etc. Due to this is not correct. So, when the teacher in the 81st shloka had told him that you do not know the Brahman completely, asheshataha, the student is now taking one word and making it into an argument. And this is how all question answers begin. Yeah? And what is he saying? The student says that I do not agree. How can you say that Brahman can be known little bit or completely? Either you know it or you don't know it. It is not to be experienced in grades, in intensity. What I told you before, once you have tasted sugar, you have tasted, that's it. It you don't, the, the grade of sweetness does not increase with more, having more sugar. Yes, you get diabetes, that's a different matter. I do not agree with your statement because Paramatma is of the nature of being one without parts, one without a second, and totally unconditioned by conditioning. Furthermore, he is without Maya and the effects of Maya. This being so, where is the question of complete and incomplete knowledge of Brahman? That is, this we have studied many times, we also understand it. That the reality cannot be known in parts. Why it cannot be known in parts or in grades? Because there are no grades in it. It is complete. Grades, parts, divisions, they are present in the matter, but not in the reality. So when, for example, when we say that, have you experienced your continuity? No, but then the scriptures give you. You were young, you were born, yes. You were a child, yes. You were a teenager, yes. You are a youth, yes. You are a grown up, yes. You are a middle age, yes. You are an old man, yes. See, so many parts in me. The student may ask that, see so many parts in me? The teacher will say, now tell me, what was, did you feel that the childhood went away and the teenage came? Did you feel that the teenage went away and youth came? What changed? Did you change or the body change? What changed? And did you see the body change? Did you experience it changing? See? So that person, that knower, that I, is the unchanging principle. I keep explaining, this is the I, it is the unchanging principle. It gets identified and feels that I am miserable, I am joyful, I am loving, I am hurtful, I am hungry, I am thirsty, etc., 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 etc. But this I is only one. When you separate this I, then you realize all the change is not taking place in here. All the change is taking place in the matter. Body, mind, intellect. That's where the change is taking place. I is the changeless principle. And this only happens as a result of some purification or as a result of you focusing on this fellow. Then it will take place. If one comes to know that the snake is only a rope, it refers to the whole snake. To say that he knew half the snake to be a rope is absurd. The truth cannot be divided. The truth cannot be divided. And therefore, such statements, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate, this is full, out of that something is taken out, what is taken out is also full, what remains behind is also full. These are just ideas presented. Don't get caught up in that Om Purnamada Purnamidam, nothing like that happens. Nothing comes out of that and nothing remains behind and nothing is taken out. You ask the space, Out of the space, the air came. Out of the air, then a fire came. Then out of the fire, water came. Out of the water, earth came. Arre baapre. Now, ask the space. What is air? I don't know. From space point of view, there is no air. From air point of view, there is no air. It is already included within it. See? The teacher explains what is meant by incomplete knowledge. शब्दानेव पठस्याहो शब्दानेव पठस्याहो तेषामर्थं च पश्यसि तेषामर्थं च पश्यसि शब्दपाठेऽर्थबोधस्ते पाठेऽर्थबोधस्ते सम्पाद्यत्वेन शिष्यते सम्पाद्यत्वेन शिष्यते. Whether you chant merely these words mentioned in above shloka, or also know the meaning of unbroken bliss of Brahman of these words, if you only know how to chant the words, then the attainment of the meaning of these words is yet to be achieved. So if you are only doing lip service or thought service to the word Brahman, to the word Atma, to the word Brahmananda, then what it means, what it signifies, what it indicates, what is included in that word, that is, there is still more knowledge to be gained. Merely knowing words is not equal to knowing the reality. This is aparagyan, and knowing the self, the wisdom, is paragyan. Para means beyond. Aparagyan is always about something. Aparagyan, again, this fellow knowing this is aparagyan. This fellow knowing his source is paragyan. This is wisdom. Wisdom is not at thought level. Wisdom is not at body level. Wisdom is not at mind level. But we collect information, and that vomit of knowledge that comes out, we call it wisdom. And people run after them also, isn't it? Think about it. Only then reading the words is not complete knowledge. You have yet to acquire full knowledge what the words mean. And it must become automatic in you. The moment word Brahman, see, I'll tell you how you come to know. Ask a mother who has not seen her son for some time, or ask a son who has not seen his mother for some time. And you tell a story about mother and how the mother had lost her children and then she met. You are telling one story, but the listener is thinking about that fellow, or that mother is thinking about her son, or he is thinking about his mother. How automatic. The good times, the memories. How she used to, how the taste of food that comes from her cooking. All small things you will start remembering about your mother, just by the word mother. It will open a Pandora box. It will open up a Pandora box, and that Pandora box is a gamut of experiences, incidences, information that has been stored in your memory, isn't it? But when the word Brahman or Atma comes, does it open a Pandora box? Does it open a Pandora box?
No.
Because self is not a memory. Self is not a memory. Self is your own essential. So this default must be there. The moment word Atma comes, you fall back. The moment Brahman word comes, you fall back into yourself. Without any but, you are that. Don't try to work it out. There's no working out. If you are working out, you are caught up in information. And you will fall back into yourself only when you know what the impact is, what it is indicating. The word Brahman or the word Atma, even though it is used, it is indicating. Word Atma is nothing. There is no object called Atma, but it is indicating something. And who is it indicating? This conscious principle within that we are. But we take Atma and then we say, oh, the Atma is functioning through the body, breath, mind, intellect. The Atma is expressing as the I thought and the that thought. And it's all, we get caught up in processes. Continuing the theme of incomplete knowledge and complete knowledge, the teacher says, Arthe Vyakaranat Buddhe Vyakaranat Buddhe Sakshatkaro Vashishyate Sakshatkaro Vashishyate Syat Krutarthatva Dhiryat Yavat Syat Krutarthatva Dhiryavat Tavad Gurumupasvabhoho Tavad Gurumupasvabhoho. Even if you have known the meaning of these words, unbroken, and what is that word? What is the word? Brahmananda. What does Brahmananda mean? Unbroken bliss of Brahman, homogeneous mass of bliss, continuous bliss. And how you have come to know? By the strength of knowledge of grammar, the direct experience of fulfillment remains. Then how do you know you have attained fulfillment or not?
Content.
Then this question will not be there. Then this question will not be there in the mind. In that case, and if this is the situation where you feel the fulfillment is not there, but understanding is complete, and that understanding and knowledge has not been converted into direct experience, till then continue studying the scriptures and continue to serve the Guru Maharaj. Why? Because by continuously exposing yourself to scriptures in a satsang and continuously serving the Guru Maharaj, the mind purifies. You come into tune with the teacher. You come in tune with the scriptures that the Guru Maharaj is teaching. Education or the knowledge does not transfer between book and person. Knowledge does not transfer from the lips of the teacher also to the ear of the student. The knowledge transfers from consciousness to consciousness. Everything else is a means. And the more we come closer to the teacher, closer to the masters, then we are in tune with the master. So any opportunity you get, we must spend some time with the great masters. See, a lot of times you must have also, it must be happening to you also, because some of you are coming for so many years, and we studied with our master for so many years. Now when Swamiji says something, I know, before he completes the sentence, I have completed it. You must be also doing the same sometimes. See? And everything, even though he repeats certain statements, he keeps repeating it thousands of times. Even though I spend 1 month with him when he comes here, 6 weeks, I get the opportunity to listen to him every day. And you won't believe it, even today, things, suddenly the penny drops. It's the same statement. Because you have heard it first, your mind must be washed with it. And then afterwards, suddenly, yes, I have heard so many, what? Suddenly one day, it clicks. This is what it meant. It just goes deep. And suddenly you are there. See? And this is the power of satsang. Satsangatve nissangatvam nissangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischalatatvam nischalatatve jivan muktihi bhaj govindam govindam bhaj modamate. When we expose ourselves to satsang, what happens in satsang? Nissangatvam. We get attached to satsang, but we get detached to the world. By getting attached to the satsang, we get detached to the world. That leads to nirmohatvam. The delusion from the mind goes away because our attention is not on the illusion. Our attention is on the reality. Because in satsang, we may use so many words, we may chant so many verses, we study the scriptures, but every verse is taking you back to your own source. Every verse. Again, this 1.5 hour of concentrated contemplation in spite of the words on the self. Where is the time? What has happened at work? What is going on in the world? Has Russia attacked Ukraine? What is happening to the boat people on the Indian Ocean? Are you worried? People even forget hunger and thirst because they are enjoying the satsang so much. Because it's reminding them of who they are. Everyone loves themselves. Everyone loves themselves. Nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam. As the delusion with regards to the world and yourself gets removed from your mind becomes nischala tattva. That it's the tremors in the mind which are called thoughts, they start subsiding, the desire starts subsiding, the wrong notions start subsiding, and nischala tattva, slowly the mind becomes like a mirror. It is able to reflect exactly what is there in front of it. And who is there in front of it? I. And the mirror of the mind is empty. No ripples in it. You will get a perfect reflection. Nischala tattve jivan muktihi. This is the way to the... This is the power of satsang. And therefore, we must, here it is told that we must spend the time studying the scriptures. Where are we? Which verse we are on?
84.
84. We must spend time with the teacher, studying the scriptures. Till which time? Till complete fulfillment is not there. Till aparoksha anubhuti has not taken place. Till aparoksha anubhuti has not taken place. Aparoksha anubhuti, direct experience of the self. Does that mean that you continue to stay with the teacher even after you are known? Some people may, but under a banyan tree, another tree cannot grow. We also told our Guru Maharaj, Swamiji, these 2 years are like bliss and we don't want to finish, let it finish. Can we join the next course and you take the next course? He says, go, jump into the world, get rubbed, but hold on to the knowledge, hold on to the self, hold on to the Atma Chintan, hold on to meditation on a daily basis. And slowly, slowly, the impact of the world, everything that we studied in 2 years, it will all start becoming your own experience. And then you will not try to run away from the world. Even though you are in the world, you are untouched by the world like a lotus leaf. In fact, that example also becomes redundant, because being established in the self, it is not like then for a person who is established in the self, for him there is no world, everything is self alone. See? But that is not possible by running away from the world. That is not possible by running away from your responsibilities. That is not possible by running away into some cave or into some ashram. You have to live in this world. Then alone it will. And in this way, until you attain that sense of total fulfillment, the very purpose for which you have come into this life, until you fully develop this Krutartha Bhav, in which there is nothing to gain and nothing to lose, and you are able to forgive yourself and forget what others have done to you, good or bad. In short, you have dissolved your own individuality. Go and serve the Guru Maharaj and do as he guides you. Okay. And what does serving Guru Maharaj mean? It is not holding someone else's feet and giving trouble to him. That is not serving the Guru Maharaj. Where is the Guru? Within. What is this teacher teaching you at this moment? To recognize the Guru within you, isn't it? To recognize the Guru within you. When this feeling comes, that what have I done in my life that I am exposed to this knowledge? I was not even seeking it and it has come into my life. I am not even seeking it, the teacher has come into my life. I am not even seeking it, the scriptures have come into my life. I was not even trying to understand, understanding is taking place. Ah, Anand, that Krutakrutyata, that great feeling of gratefulness. And once your attention is on this Guru Maharaj who is within your Sadguru, within your heart, who alone is expressing as the Guru Maharaj outside, and that Guru Maharaj is not just one person. What is that one person teaching you? Learn from everything in the world. Learn from every experience, learn from every contact, learn from every thought, learn from every interaction. Let every moment be a reflection, be a learning process. What do you learn? Not some concept. Everything that you interact with or experience or get in touch with, it must remind you of the self, of the Guru principle. Because Guru is the substratum. Guru is the foundation. And where is that? He is not just outside, he is inside. It's like that Guru has come in your life to remind you of yourself. See? So when this feeling comes, then automatically Seva Bhav comes up. You want to serve the teacher. You want to serve the community. You want to be involved with people who are like-minded. Then world may condemn you. World may say, oh, wastage of life, young youth. What happened? When I took sannyas, people used to say, what happened? Did he have a heartbreak? Some girl broke his heart? They can't realize that this idiot has been contemplating and doing sadhana for 14 years. See? But that now, why is he escaping from the world? This type of thoughts come. People will ask. They will disturb you also. But don't get disturbed. You remain. Accept that the mind is getting disturbed, and it may, till it has not resolved. But don't forget, you are the one in whose presence the mind is functioning. That fellow is the Guru principle, essentially. So in this way, the teacher, having given this clarity to the student that don't remain only at the word level, only at the thought level, go beyond, be subjective, man. Look at what it is indicating. We must read between the lines. And in this way, the teacher concludes the argument. He says, Asta me tadyatra yatra, asta me tadyatra yatra, sukham syad vishayair vina, sukham syad vishayair vina, tatra sarvatra vidyetam, tatra sarvatra vidyetam, brahmanandasya vasanam, brahmanandasya vasanam. Let this topic be dropped here now for certain, that whatever, whenever and wherever there is bliss without the presence of object, it is due to the impressions of the bliss of Brahmananda, it is Vasanananda. If you are experiencing joy and happiness without any objects, and people sit in meditation, they go into ecstasy. Have you ever seen people? Sometimes after meditation, it was wonderful. Vasanananda. Because being in the self as the self, there is nothing to say. There is no experience. It's an experienceless experience. It is not a remembrance. So here, let us drop this discussion and come back to the main subject. Wherever one is totally blissful and peaceful without dependence on objects, in all periods of time, in every place, understand that there is a lingering taste of Brahmananda, and this is called Vasanananda. So, if you are remembering it after coming out of samadhi, after coming out of deep sleep, after coming out of a moment of, for example, now we are going to eat soup. The soup will be, we know it will be tasty. For that one moment, there is no thought in the mind, there is no object in the mind. We have become one with it. The memory will click in, and then good. What is Vasanananda? The lingering feeling of joy. So if you are experiencing lingering feeling of joy, don't call it Brahmananda. It is Vasanananda. It is remembered bliss. Having explained the nature of Brahmananda and Vasanananda, the teacher now takes up the explanation of Vishayananda. Now he takes up this topic in the from the 86th verse onwards, which we'll see in our next class. We'll just conclude and we'll sit for some time in meditation. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly and let any thought that we have discussed pop up in your mind and take you back into yourself.